Around $250 a kilo. That's the price of vanilla, the world's second most expensive spice. This precious gift from nature to Madagascar, bringing income to thousands of smallholder farms in the northeast of the island. However, is it easy to produce this green gold? To answer this question, let's explore how farmers grow and harvest vanilla in Madagascar. Don't miss today's video for more interesting information. The vanilla bean originated in Mexico and was introduced to Madagascar in 1880. Since then, cultivation has spread to the eastern regions of the island, where the climate is similar to their native region. Madagascar exports nearly 2,500 tons of vanilla each year, accounting for 70% of the world's supply. According to the Central Bank of Madagascar, the industry generated about $602 million in revenue in 2021. Vanilla is very popular and is widely used in the culinary, perfume, and beauty industries. However, to get these products, vanilla has to go through a very long and laborious production process. The journey to get the world's second most expensive spice is not simple. First, it takes 3 to 4 years after planting for the vanilla plant to mature and be ready to produce its first flowers. Then, farmers will need several weeks to pollinate the flowers by hand. Next, it takes another 9 months for the fruit to ripen and another 6 months to process the vanilla beans. All of these processes require a lot of effort and care to create the highest quality product. Vanilla plants need to grow in tropical climates with about 2,500 millimeters of rainfall per year and temperatures between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. Vanilla plants will be propagated by cuttings from a host tree. Each time they are planted, farmers can harvest about 10 crops, lasting about 13 to 15 years. Farm renovation needs to be continuous to avoid waiting without yield. During the growing period, farmers will prune and bend the plants down to increase the ability to flower, making it easier to care for and harvest the fruit. You may not know, vanilla plants are not capable of self-pollination, so farmers have to do it almost 100% by hand. Although a vanilla plant can produce 1,000 flowers, only 5 to 30% are selected for pollination. Farmers will use a toothpick to turn the stigma up, then use their fingers to press the male pistil into the female pistil. If they're lucky, these flowers will continue to develop into green vanilla beans. About 7 to 9 months of pollination, the vanilla bean will begin to ripen. It looks quite like a giant green bean on the outside, but inside it contains thousands of small seeds. The ideal time to harvest vanilla is before the pod is fully ripe, when the tip of the pod is pale yellow. Then, these vanilla beans will be brought back to start processing. During the production and harvesting process, green vanilla beans are bitter and have no aroma. Only after going through a complex processing process will it have a special aroma. This processing can take from 5 to 6 months, including the steps of sorting, washing, and blanching the vanilla beans in hot water for about 60 to 90 seconds to disable and prevent the shell from cracking. Then, they quickly put all the vanilla beans in a container and cover it with a blanket to incubate for about 2 days. This fermentation process will help create an enzyme reaction, stimulating the release of vanilla aroma. When the vanilla beans turn brown, they will start to expose them to the sun for at least 3 hours a day and wrap them in boxes at night. This process takes place regularly for about 15 to 30 days until the vanilla bean turns chocolate brown and the moisture content drops to 29 to 34%. One of the most important but little known steps in vanilla bean processing is refining in wooden boxes. The vanilla beans are placed in wooden boxes to slow down the drying process, but still prolong the reaction of the enzymes that develop the aroma. However, this step requires good control to avoid mold in the vanilla beans. This stage lasts at least 4 months, in some cases up to 2 years, to produce high-quality vanilla beans. Finally, the vanilla beans will be sorted by length and moisture content before being sent to factories to extract vanilla essential oil. The average yield of each vanilla tree in Madagascar is 250 to 500 grams. However, to get this product, each tree will have to harvest 1 kilogram of green vanilla. There are about 80,000 people in Madagascar growing vanilla on an area of about 25,000 hectares. The industry has created jobs and provided people with a valuable source of income, helping them earn a stable income and improve their quality of life. With a large amount of vanilla exported to the world, the vanilla industry is driving Madagascar's economy. Climate change leads to unstable weather, causing crop failures and affecting vanilla productivity. Vanilla production requires a lot of work, which is why child labor is common in Madagascar. In addition, the high value of vanilla also causes many problems, most notably theft. Farmers have had to take many measures to protect their property. Despite the challenges, it is undeniable that the vanilla industry has brought positive values to Madagascar. Australia is home to over 4.9 million goats, of which 2.3 million are wild goats. In recent years, wild goat meat has become one of Australia's major exports, worth $235 million. So, how are wild goats processed in a factory? How is the processing line different from farm-raised goats? Let's find out now. The Australian meat industry handles both wild and domestic goats, each of which undergoes separate harvesting, processing, and distribution methods due to differences in origin. Processing facilities are also separated in size and distance to ensure quality. Feral goats are classified as feral in Australia, and their populations are often controlled through commercial harvesting. These animals are caught in the wild, often in remote areas. Feral goat meat is generally leaner and has a stronger flavor due to their natural diet and activity. Harvesting goats requires skilled shooters or trappers to capture them, then transport them to processing plants for slaughter. Unlike goats raised on integrated farms, wild goats are processed in mobile slaughterhouses or regional processing facilities to ensure fresh meat. Each goat is inspected to ensure it is healthy before slaughter. Processing wild goats requires special attention to hygiene and quality control, as the animals come from a variety of environments. Processing wild goat meat includes removing excess fat and bones, and the final product is packaged for both domestic and international markets. In Australia, wild goat meat is often marketed as organic or free-range, appealing to consumers who prefer sustainable and natural food sources. The wild goat meat industry is particularly important for export, especially to the Middle Eastern and European markets, where there is a high demand for lean game meat. On the other hand, Australia is also a favorable land for the development of goat farms. Goat farming in Australia has also grown significantly in recent years, with many farms focusing on meat production for domestic consumption and export. Goats are typically raised on pasture or in semi-intensive systems where they are fed a balanced diet consisting of grains, hay, and other supplements to ensure optimal growth and health. The processing of farmed goats is linked to economies of scale, as it is possible to slaughter, process, and package the meat in large quantities in one facility. This results in a more uniform product in size, fat content, and meat quality. Furthermore, goat farms are often close to processing facilities, which makes transportation faster, reduces stress on the animals, and ensures fresher meat. Goat meat is processed similarly to lamb or beef, cut into parts such as legs, shoulders, and ribs. The meat is packaged and distributed as fresh or frozen meat or processed into sausages and other value-added products. In general, the processing of wild goat meat and farmed goat meat is different and is handled in separate processing facilities. Due to different origins and transportation processes, it is not possible to combine these two types of meat in one processing plant. In terms of origin and habitat, wild goats are caught in their natural habitat, while farmed goats are raised in controlled environments with monitored diets. Harvesting wild goat populations requires specialized techniques, such as shooting or trapping, and often requires long-distance transport. Farmed goats are often closer to processing facilities, reducing transport time and stress. In terms of flavor, wild goat meat is generally leaner and has a stronger flavor, while farmed goat meat is often more tender and mild due to controlled feeding. Both wild and farmed goat meat are important Australian exports, with the Middle East, Asia, and Europe being major markets. However, wild goat meat often commands a premium due to its marketing as organic and sustainable.